you can't really work in because then somebody's gonna have to move it up. This is where I'm spoiled in here. But yeah, same logic as before, but there's not gonna be any cross action. This will just be squeezing, holding, and with anything cable press related, I'm kind of a little bit of an exception to the rule with those crossbody ones I was doing, because it's just kind of a different feel because I'm almost pushing downward. But anything like really pushing upward, cable, if I have my hands turned in, like, you know, more like a regular barbell grip, it kind of just cues me to get some front delt and kind of hunch action. So for me, you know, I'm not saying it's like you can't isolate your chest, but it's much easier for me to really focus on pulling my shoulders back and keeping my palms turned up. So instead of like pressing with my finger, like, you know, my index finger, my thumb inward, I'm almost putting all the force through the bottom of my hand like this. And it just lets me get more chest than shoulder. And that's what I want. I don't need any more shoulder activation. All right. They've got time in their day where it's scheduled for them to even go to the gym, and you know, it's those people who the general public might consider nitpicking and just like too like obsessed, but not in a cool way. You know, like if you tell somebody you weighed out your meals for the next week and it's like you have to eat all these specific ones or whatever, you know, usually I would say most people aren't going to look at that and think, holy crap, that guy really cares about his goals, he's getting after it, I should be more like that, I should get, that's a lot. I mean, yeah, guys will just hate on working out in general, where it's like, you know, you're just gonna be all sweaty. I don't want to do that. And the only reason for that thought process is just lack of understanding, because we get it. You know, we know what's going on when a real workout's happening, when you're actually getting after it, just the feeling of a crazy set. And for me, I think that I get only extra motivation and extra excitement for all these workouts when I know, okay, I ate all my food today, I got an awesome amount of rest, I know if I go to sleep on a decent time and wake up then tomorrow, when I've got legs, which I do, I'm gonna feel like a freaking beast, at least as much as I can in the current circumstance, you know, because it's not like I'm gonna be squatting 900. I don't think that will ever happen, nor do I really feel the need to. You know, it's not my thing. But on days when I just feel extra strong, you know, like let's say you got really bad sleep, your overall just quality of lift, quality of pump down here. Days where you got really good sleep, you're really hydrated, you got your meals in, it's up here. You know, so you got this bar of variability where if you got really bad pre-lift preparation, your lift is gonna, you know, at least the energy you're gonna bring to it's gonna be. Yeah. Okay. One more. Two. think about what's next. You can also just do a single arm movement and use more than half the stack to get around that, kind of weight limitation. So single arm push downs, 65 pounds, back and forth a couple times, and then I think we'll be ready for something. I'm not sure what, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna feel different after this set, so maybe I'll make a more educated decision on what the next movie should be once this is over. But 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, kind of alternating style. All right. Which, would make sense. Oh shit. Hey. Yeah, we're getting on track to something. All right. Very good. So definitely a more chill day, nothing insane. And that's kind of how the lifts are going to become. Obviously I'll have a slightly carved up day sometimes, more food, more whatever. But for the most part, I'm more concerned. There we go. Right in that moment, I get in focus. But just keeping size, not getting too soft or anything, or not getting too flat rather. And then just staying as full as I can get. There we go. All right, I'm getting close to filling in those arm gaps. Oh, yes. All right. And with that, I'd say back is freaking complete. Let's go freaking eat something, man. I'm tired. All right. Yeah, very nice. Very freaking nice. So I am in stage 1 of dieting. Phase 1. I'm in level 1. I am in the first, the first act. How about that? That's kind of a fancy way to put it. And what I mean by that is right now, okay, let's finish with something a little lighter. It's too easy. Ooh. So I think a good, just basic ass set of pull downs, a little faster, would be a perfect ender. Come on. All right. Sit. Yeah. Two. Oh. Yeah. Two. Sit. Oh gosh. Okay. Let's go pull it from there we go. So, feeling rather lean. I mean, I'm barely even dieted. Like, this is all just from not chowing down on like a wild amount of food. And honestly, even just having this much kind of forearm separation, like, yeah, that's what I mean. Every time I do this reverse wrist curls, but like just a 20, this is the stuff I'm talking about, just because of all the fancy, like, in and out things on the back of your forearm. It's like how you got when you eat a flat chicken wing and you're taking a bite off of both sides of the bones. One side's the strong side down here, this big ass bite, but there's also all of this other stuff on top, not to be freaking neglected. But let's turn around and see how we're looking for the back. Which, gotta be obsessed with the idea of you in the future. So what I kind of boil that down to, I'm like, okay, what kind of headspace do you want to be in to really get yourself amped on a day-by-day basis for something that you won't see the reward from for years, maybe sometimes months, but sometimes years into the future. And then what gets me going is knowing that I'm on track, right? Knowing, all right, I'm eating my food, I'm hitting these lifts very well, I'm getting my sleep, I'm well hydrated, I got my jog, all right, nice. I'm on track. I'm in the green. I've got an upward trajectory. So no matter what else might happen, or maybe I fell short of whatever the goal was, or just if I know that every day I'm making even just inches of progress relatively, then that's cool with me. Because then you're not in this like catching up kind of thought process. It's not like, okay, I want to get to the same level as this guy. Because if you kind of get this like internal motivation, like, all right, I want to be a little better at this, and I want to keep doing everything it takes on the regular, and you're kind of a little bit more self-centered with your focus rather than trying to compare yourself to whoever else, then honestly, I feel like progress, or we'd say gains, it just kind of happens, because if you're the guy who likes working out and doing his cardio and like just reaping the benefits from really locking into working out in all facets, well, guess what? You don't even have to think about like, okay, I need to get bigger. I need to get a bigger chest. I need a bigger bench. I need to get a little bit leaner on this diet. Like, you don't even have to think that, because you know that what you're doing is working, and some of that's just from experience. So for me, I've dieted down and gotten pretty lean more than a handful of times. I've gotten bulked up the same amount. So I've got at least my own repertoire of like times and tricks and like kind of overcoming or whatever. Shutting the pantry door, knowing I could like totally destroy 3 packs of ramen and like just whatever treat I wanted or something, or eating a bigger bowl of food that I wasn't like super excited to eat, because I knew that long term I was going to be glad I did it, because it's going to benefit me in the future. Oh, nice. It was hard for me to not stop at Sheetz and get a Ben & Jerry's because I know they're in there, but I did it. Now that you've never done before, and I'm not talking like do freaking pull downs that are so heavy you're like wrenching it and you have like that weird like shouldery look of pulling at the bottom. I'm just saying, like, okay, I did single leg extensions, 110 for 30, or not 30, but like 110 for 20, real like burning, squeezing. All right, let's try to do 115 or like 120. Like little things like that in the spirit of progressive overload, and it's not something that I've ever really tried to track on paper. Of course, I have all sorts of now I've got thousands of hours of like video documentation of my training, at least for the last, I think, nearly 3 years. So that's kind of my version of my log. But I was never one to like write my lifts down on a week by week like powerlifting program kind of style. It's and the way I look at it is, I don't think you actually have to do that. If you like it, then do it, but I don't think it's a necessity, because I'm more so trying to put myself in a position where I'm going to come to the gym with the same like goal or kind of mindset frame, and then have that be set up to progress long term. So if I come into the gym and I'm telling myself, okay, I want to do a weight that is basically up there as much as I can handle for whatever rep range I'm aiming for. Maybe it's a heavy set of squats, so that rep range will be down close to like 8 or 10. Maybe it's a little bit of a higher rep set of incline press, and then it might be like 15. So it's just kind of a weird way to reference sets, because somebody could say they did 3 sets of 10, but does that really tell you everything about the set? The guy might have done those 3 sets of 10, but he could have done 3 sets of 20. So the sets were like half as many reps as he could have handled. So the way I look at it, when I describe a workout, when I'm saying like, I did incline Smith, 3 sets, 10 reps, or if I'm describing how my workout was, what I mean by that is those 10 reps were basically right there at failure. Heavy presses usually is legit failure. And then some lighter squeezing movements, it's more so just kind of aiming for like a good burning fatigue sensation. Like, and the more you do it, the more you'll kind of know the difference, if you kind of get what I'm saying, right? You know, eating the amount of food that feels normal is just about at my kind of calorie goal, just barely maintenance right there. But over time, I will have to gradually decrease it. But for a longer, slower dieting phase, there's no need to crash your intake to the max, or I guess you'd rather say to the minimum, instantly, because that's not going to work. I mean, it would work, but you wouldn't get the results you're really looking for. And that's the classic logic of, you know, anybody where they argue. Like, there's people that argue very passionately. There's working out doesn't work. Even if you lose the body fat, even if you lose the weight, it's just going to come back because that's what you're naturally, you know, that's what your body naturally is. It's equilibrium at. And I understand the logic, because if you totally like lock into a serious over diet, you're working out every day super hard, you're not really, like, it's too much, but you're still doing it. And then after you're like, finally done, and you just, you know, kind of chill out. I mean, I could definitely see putting the weight back on, you know. But the whole point of a gradual, not even too gradual, but just slower deficit, slower dieting phase, is just the consistency, because it's not so abrupt that you really feel like any one day is a total insane kind of grind, you know. It's like the experiment about how you put a frog into a pot of boiling water. Well, you put a frog into a pot of standard room temperature water, right? It's just sitting there, and then you gradually increase the temperature slowly. The thing doesn't even notice, and it just gets boiled, you know, because the changes, even though they're drastic, they were slow, you know, so there was no eureka moment or like, whoa, right? So that's where having a consistent routine, dieting-wise, calorie-wise, cardio-wise, I gotta get the cardio down, and got the bike, I was about to say the bike 24/7, that's not true. The bike 30 minutes a day, 7 times a week. And it's, you know, it's not anything crazy. I don't have to do a marathon of cardio. I don't have to do a full day fast, like, you know, overnight, 24-hour. It's, you know, I'm still eating a good chunk of food, but it's just barely low enough, including my energy expenditure, that I'll get gradually, slowly leaner, you know. And it's something which, just like, you know, failure, did like 10 reps instead of the extra 5. I may have only felt like I needed to do, or I may have felt like I needed to do more like 6 or 7, you know. So sometimes if you kind of, I mean, it's just like an inverse relationship, man. More intensity, potentially lower volume. But either way, biceps are definitely cooked after 4 of those heavy sets. So now transitioning to more of a squeezing, slightly higher volume preacher set should be good here. So 150 pounds out of the 250 pound stack. That's about right. Holy crap. I gotta drop that shit to 130. All right. Let's start some push downs. Some rope extensions to start has kind of been my freaking favorite. Light enough, obviously, to squeeze. If I went too heavy, I would just be moving the weight. And if I want to do that, I'll do a straight bar pushdown, or like an overhead something. I mean, not an overhead, but like doing the pullover pushdowns over there. So this is more so acting as a starter, because it's heavy enough that it's a good set. Like, it's basically failure at whatever rep range I'm hitting. But each rep also kind of just serves to really warm me up and get me started. Because since I'm fresh, I can really squeeze. When you have pumped triceps, I don't really like doing the rope, at least not trying to squeeze it, because by the time my triceps are fully pumped, they don't even really like straighten the whole way. Like, they're almost running into themselves in a sense. So squeezing movements usually start tries. They don't finish them. Usually. I do have exceptions. Yeah. Yeah. One more. No. Two. Yeah. Poof. Okay. Let's do some overhead extensions next instead of another pushdown, because I know I want to finish with more basic kind of straight bar, fixed bar pushdowns. Set up as such, cheek of your choice against the upright, kind of in a little bit of a not exactly symmetrical way, but then you can really put weight into the upright to keep yourself steady, so that when you're pressing, you don't have to do like this weird. I mean, if I was doing like either like a shirtless or a like a real thin stringer type chest day, I can almost guarantee in between every set I'd probably do at least like a little bit of a flex in the mirror just to like see how I'm looking, just because I'm prone to doing that as a lifter. So I try to just not even give myself the distraction of trying to even worry about how I look during the lift, because I've got the lift to do. That's taking priority, right? And that's a good headspace for me. And then it makes me more excited about the finishing the workout, because then it's not just, oh, I'm done with this workout, I can get in the car and chill. It's all right, I'm done with this workout, let's see how good the pump that resulted was. So it's kind of this extra motivator beyond just having a good workout anyway for me, because it's like, okay, I really got to step it up for these next couple sets to make sure I'm fully pumped at the end. So it's just kind of this extra force that gets me going and makes me excited. And some people, I mean, maybe you don't really care about a pose day. I couldn't imagine why, but I'm sure there's a lot of people where they don't even think about like finishing a chest day and then posing in the mirror, like taking a progress photo or anything. They just want to do it and get out of there. And to that I say, go for it. It's not my pump, right? But no, that was a good one. And then I think tomorrow is almost certainly a rest day. I might, I said a while ago, I still remember this, I said if I ever post a video that doesn't have a workout, then I don't know what I said. I must have said something like, call me a total punk, call me a poser, or something like that. But on a rest day, apart from the cardio, there is a need for just kind of chilling sometimes. You don't want to overdo it and then like start building up more fatigue than you can recover from. I sound like a certain you know what kind of lifter when I say that, but it is legit. Especially dieting, your energy in versus energy out, it can't be too drastically different, or else you're gonna set yourself up for failure and burnout rather than long-term gradual success, if you follow me there. But I think that's all I got for legs. Solid pump, and I'm really excited to start seeing veins, because when I get, not even like show ready lean, like even still a month and a half out, or at least, that probably no matter what kind of training they end up doing, if they're eating more food than they're burning, they're not going to get leaner. If anything, they're going to put more, weight, maybe muscle, but also fat on. I think we could all probably agree with that. But when it comes down to the, to training, anything beyond like basic kind of frequency and styles and things like that, it's kind of up to your discretion, And I think that's one thing that's nice about having so many different videos and people to watch and listen to, because there's a lot of guys training a lot of different ways. So, if you're kind of curious and you want to change something up, you can find a guy that you like, resonate with his training style and how he describes it, and then say, yeah, shit, that makes sense, But no matter what the training style is, if that situation is like set up well, then at the end of it, I think whoever just got inspired by, watching so-and-so talk about their workout routine and break it down and explain it, then that guy is going to start doing a few things that he might not have been doing before. Right? Working out, being curious about learning about working out. He's going to work out probably a bit more consistently and kind of just maintain these three things, and then the guy's going to make progress, So it's like when somebody looks at the number 9, and I would say that's a number 9 right there, like written on the floor, and then someone across from me looks at me and he says, no, that's a number 6, right? Because for him, from his perspective, it is a 6, it's not a 9, So it's we're making up an argument, you know what I'm saying? So as long as you're getting into the gym and you can at least get behind what you're doing, and I think that you are certainly on good track. But I think nothing else to say. Let's just get in there and try to freaking blow up the squat rack. In the future, and I'm thinking like, okay, how do I want my legs to change? I want my legs thicker, right? I want it to be like an illusion that my legs have gotten larger, and it makes my midsection, kind of my midsection and waist / what would you call that measurement? Right? You got waist, would that be hips? What do we say, hip measurement for how big your butt is? You wouldn't say bust, that's more, whatever. I want thicker legs, so my leg days are going to comprise of basically glutes down, or just up to the glutes down. So quads, hamstrings, adductors, the works, because for me, that's what needs the most work. And if you squat decently heavy as a guy, I think your glutes get enough work from that they don't really need much more direct work, right? I'm not you, obviously do whatever kind of training you think is best, but I think that when it comes to your leg days, at least as a dude, this is not referencing the 4% female viewers. Obviously, you've got a bit of a different end goal, but for us, dude, I think squats, hamstring curls, RDLs, you're cool. Right? So the plan for today, probably a little bit quad focused, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to just do quads only or hamstrings only, or at least I'm not going into the gym with that in mind. I probably will eventually switch to that once I start dieting a little bit harder and I kind of feel the just sort of lack of calories hit me a little bit more, where doing legs twice a week, like at least good hard lifts, ends up being a little bit too much to maintain, and then splitting them up into a hamstring day and a quad day makes a little more sense. But no need to do that yet, at least I wouldn't think. So planning going into quads today, which I'm going to start with first. Leg extensions to warm up, right? Before I even record set 1, I kind of bounce around a little bit of a trifecta of just doing a few leg curls, a few leg extensions, a few calf raises, a few adductors where your legs squeeze together just to get everything moving. And then after that, I guess we'll have to see. You know, I definitely want to squat, but I'm not so like boneheaded that if I come in and I start squatting and my knee feels off or my back feels off, I'm just going to squat anyway and hurt myself, right? That's what we in the lifting community refer to as the fool's gambit. I wouldn't recommend it. You know, it's a little bit of a different story. But if you're trying to keep the weight off or get some body fat off and keep it off, then you're going to have a bit better luck by kind of easing into it gradually, you know, or else you're setting yourself up a little bit more for a potential rebound, you know. So slow and steady always wins the race, that's for freaking sure. But plan now, go home, get some food, and tomorrow might be a rest day. Tomorrow may end up being a rest day. Now, of course, not a complete rest day. I might just stop doing my cardio. But given that tomorrow is going to be legs, I guess I'll see. You know, I never want to completely commit to a rest day the day before because, think about it. Right now, I just finished working out. I haven't eaten anything for like a couple hours. I'm a little tired. Mentally, I'm in a state where I'm probably going to lean towards, like, okay, I feel kind of tired right now at this exact moment. It's like going to the grocery store hungry. You get a whole bunch of shit that you didn't even really want beforehand. You just wanted it right then, you know. So it's a situation of you're going to think a little differently the next day once you're rested, got a good night's sleep, drank some water, got some food in your system, you got a little bit more energy, right? It's you can't always trust how you feel in the moment to decide what's going to be best later on, you know, because working out, doing anything that's physically difficult to your brain, I mean, apart from probably a certain level that your brain kind of like treats as play, like that's a little bit different, but anything like highly strenuous, your brain's gonna say, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Don't do that. Ugh, right? You want to chill. You want to just stay home, eat food, relax, stay alive. Right? That's all your brain's really telling you to do. So you're kind of fighting against your biological judgment when you say that you want to put hundreds of pounds on your back and squat it, or you know, you want to limit your calorie intake so you can get leaner. For you, as a guy, you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get leaner. I want to do this. For your brain, you know, on a more subconscious level, it's thinking, dude, holy crap, eat something. What is going on? You know, so that's you're kind of, shit, maybe fighting evolution at that point. You know, but I think as I mean, the freaking apex predator of the planet, I think we can handle it, right? We're tough enough to be able to say, I don't need to eat 4 Walmart blueberry muffins right now. That's not my goal. I don't need to crush 3 McDonald's chicken, what's like the McDonald's sandwich? I don't need to, it's not a Whopper, I don't need to crush 3 chicken Big Macs right now, right? I'm a responsible lifter, and that's not in line with what my goals are. And when we say it like that, it sounds a little bit more simple, you know, because it's like we're not actually in that situation, you know. We can all agree that if we're dieting, don't slam that bag of Skittles that you've got in the back of your pantry. Right? Everybody would probably agree, yeah, don't do that. No. But if that's you, right, and you actually are in your last few hundred calories for the day, and you're feeling it, you're getting leaner, but you're still feeling it, you're hungry, that bag may as well be glowing, right? Like straight out of Pulp Fiction as you open the door. So anybody's gonna eat this? I don't think so. Right? There's only one person who's gonna hold you accountable in a situation like that. You know, so that's where you gotta kind of toughen up and not need any external validation. Because people are going to gas you up if you lose a ton of weight, or not even lose weight in the sense of like getting lighter, but just if you get lean, like, people are going to notice. At least your buddies are, for sure. But nobody gives you congratulations for winning those small battles when you don't just totally pig out when nobody's watching. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Like, I think I'm definitely going to have an easier time during this diet, which is going to kind of transfer into a prep later on. Because now that I've gotten, this lean before, and I've only been used to this lean, well, now this area is no longer uncharted territory, right? I've been there. And it's not, because my hands want to be close to each other, because that's the nature of having two pulleys like that at once. So for me to get to the top and kind of squeeze in and up, I end up getting a lot of like this upper portion. It's not like it's a massive difference, but enough that it's good to throw in. And then not too heavy. Those extensions are only 190. This curl is only 150, so nothing too Okay. Actually, I think one more of each, and then I'll switch to a different set of movements. Okay. Let's move on. Yeah, new set of movements. Yeah, this is sweet. Doing this kind of jumping over the top of this pullover to do pushdowns. And what I really like about it is it's not like a cable pushdown where I've got a cable in my freaking face and I got to either duck to the left or the right or lean back too much. Since it's just a bar, I can really get over top of it. But let's really burn this one out. And even though it's a stack, the leverages are very good, so I can really rep this. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's do some bicep bias pull downs, and then go back and forth. That felt super good today, though. Okay. I might do 2 more of these actually. Okay, back to pull downs. It's getting hot. It's getting hot out there, to the point where I think some less motivated lifters, some less, I don't like to say the word discipline as much. It doesn't, it's not my thing to, I don't think about myself and think, oh, I got all this discipline. It's just not a word I resonate with. But I can definitely understand the logic of having something get in the way of working out. Guess what happened this week? Everybody's in school. A pretty large demographic of people in gyms. Honestly, I'd say, at least lately, it's got to be 50-50 of 18-year-olds and above and 18-year-olds and below. The gym is going more than mainstream in the younger age demographic brackets, which is sweet. That's what I want to see. More memberships, more gyms, fancier machines. And by fancier, I don't mean more complicated. I just mean cooler. The more the merrier. There's really no other phrase to describe it than that. But school started. So now instead of summertime being, you basically got free range. Even if you had when I was a kid, this is before I was doing really working out much yet. I was still just doing gymnastics and stuff. Actually, was I? This might have been a little bit of an overlap time period. Before I was really working out, I worked at the rock wall at my local YMCA. But it was like 4-hour shifts every couple of days. It was like nothing. That was just during the summertime, and then kind of sporadically throughout different months. But you're pretty much going from all the time in the world. It's pretty easy to get motivated to work out. You've got a huge chunk of time to pull from, But now that school has started up, and still lifting at the same time, 5, 4 o'clock, whatever, some of these gyms are a little more sparse, right? Everybody's they got new shit to do. And sometimes it's not an actual correlation kind of thing of kids are back, you're back in school and now you're going to skip the gym. Because a lot of these guys, if you've got a school sport, very different, and that's its own topic to get into. But as kind of just a blatant statement, I'd say probably don't quit your high school sport to work out more. But getting back to the to that, it's when people start getting a little bit more of a full plate, things kind of get pushed off the edges, because we all need a certain amount of downtime, right? We all need a certain amount of just being able to chill and do nothing. We're not here to freaking be on grinding the entire day. That's not the point. That is definitely not the point. But when if you've got a certain chunk of responsibilities, where now instead of you got this whole open window, throw lifting, whatever, it's I get from 4 to 6. No, it's already 4:15. I got legs today. It's already 4:30. Yeah, screw it. Right. That's classic. Oh man, you guys are all hanging out tonight. I'm just gonna go work out. Screw it. Screw chest today. Come on, I'm coming with you. Little things like that. So I certainly see I understand the logic. I would never look at somebody skip a lift, skip their cardio, go off diet, and think, and be flabbergasted, how could you do this? No, it's not a lack of understanding, but it's I certainly can't connect with it because it's just a value system thing, and that's something that you really can't get around, no matter how strict you try to be or how boxy you try to make your routine. At the end of the day, you're just going to get led by whatever your value system really puts an emphasis on. If you don't really value trying to get significant gains and make in the gym progress, then the gym's not going to take precedent over anything else that you could be doing. You know? So that's why I love talking about every kind of different angle about the working out that I can, because I'm almost just trying to freaking preach the benefits. You know, somebody who doesn't really care about tracking the calories, if you worked out hard.
So they're trying to bias only here and none of but they're like, dude, that doesn't hit your chest at all. But I literally am feeling
feel it.
I'm feeling my chest.
Like the muscles are gonna tear.
Yeah. You know how they added 4D to movies?
Yeah.
Where sometimes they like have a smell.
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for them to Neuralink a YouTube video so they can feel the workout.
So I can feel you
while
as I'm watching you,
and you can feel like actually it is working my chest.
They
People
can
would have
smell
to,
my breath.
They'd have to skip through a set because they're like, oh, this fucking hurts too bad. I gotta skip. I need to get it over with. But this will be good. Just kind of nasty. I think that's the real.
Would I not even have to work out then? I could just feel your chest pump.
It'd be all in it would be in your brain.
I'm activated.
It wouldn't really work.
Yes. Squeeze it. Yes, cross it.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, come on. Yeah,
I like doing this because it's almost like a push press too.
Yeah.
Push press it.
Oh. Yeah. Come on.
Oh. Oh.
I've never balled up so much.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Oh yeah.
It's too fucking light, baby. It's too light.
Come on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, come on. Underground.
Yeah, give me.
Yeah. Ooh, those were good.
I think I'm ready to move on to shoulders. I think if I do any more chest, I'm gonna rip a tendon off the bone. Can I just fly here every week and we'll get a workout in?
You just live here.
I've never. You're not gonna fly here for like $50. It's that cheap.
What's the secret?
Spirit Airlines.
I keep going American.
That's your problem.
They keep like losing bags.
Oh yeah.
Canceled.
I don't even travel with anything.
Yeah.
So the downfall for me was I had to fly out of Vegas, so that cost a fortune.
Yeah.
But if it was from Orlando, and I've been gone from home for 4 days, all I have is a couple T-shirts, a couple pairs of underwear, and a little knapsack.
The closer I can get to just the. Okay, look who we got here, the Booganator, Eric Boogan.
I'm here. I have literally probably 20 scoops of Folgers crystals in me, and I gave Sam some as well.
Yeah, I've got a cup.
It's taking a while
so I'm working
to gulp it down.
So it was a full container of Folgers.
Yeah, it's all gone. 120 servings of crystals.
So this is my gradual stream of caffeination.
It's all natural, so it hits you a little, you know what I mean?
Folger crystals.
Yeah, sometimes you get the pre-workout, it's good. It hits you strong, get some jitters, but this is good, smooth, clean energy.
Yeah, it's really smooth. I love it.
Yeah. All right, well, here's the deal. I'm gonna blow your mind today.
I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, you excited for that? So let's grab some dumbbells here. We're gonna do some synchronized movements.
We can do that.
We're not gonna do it there.
But who's gonna do what? They only go up to 150.
No, we're not. No, we're gonna start really light.
What?
We're gonna do some pencil neck shit to kick it off.
Well, my pencil neckage is just over here.
No, dude, we're gonna switch that up. Well, you got, yeah. Okay. Here, grab these 5s to start it off. I'll grab these 10s, yeah. Like some chicken wings. Chicken wings.
Not by that.
Or some so like this, like flap your wings. Yeah. No, yeah, go a little bit higher. So think about you do like an upright row, kind of almost like the hammer curl.
So you like these?
Yeah, dude.
Rear delt activation, rotator cuff.
Kind of get them up. Yeah, yeah. Well, to start it all off, bro. Yeah, give me like 20 reps.
I like that. Yeah. I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't do this. But
you wouldn't do this.
What I do like is there's this one powerlifter guy who he's always trying to put me on stuff like this, where his version of this wouldn't be weighted. It would be taking a band, holding it here,
and just doing like a 10
Yeah, but that's
second
totally different. That's
activation.
totally different. Brother, what do you mean you wouldn't do this? The pump's gonna blow your mind.
I probably wouldn't do
Nah,
that.
dude, here, draw a circle. Come on, get up to 20.
I'm drawn.
Get to 20. How many reps you got so far?
This is got to be in the 30s.
Okay, now go the other direction.
I've been going back
okay.
and forth already.
You're going against the grain, brother.
I'm definitely, I'm feeling it though.
Yeah, give me 20 and 20. Okay, I don't want you to like hurt your rotator cuff. Yeah, the whole point is, you're fighting me from set number 1.
Well, my rotator cuff activation is grabbing a cable and then doing a single arm kind of upright sort of
bro,
face pull with
I got
rotation.
a lot of stuff for you, dude.
All right.
I mean, that's why I'm here. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right,
All right, stir. Give me 20. Okay? I mean, this is like an eye-opening, game-changing deal.
I've been watching your videos for a while. I've never seen you do this once.
Well, then you're not watching the.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah. And don't worry about like hitting exact numbers and whatnot.
No,
It's just just get greasy. Oh God! Yeah, you're making I'm making a believer out of you now.
well,
Yeah. What do you mean, well? Hey! Does it feel different to you
yeah, it's a little different.
versus like lateral raising it versus
It's a little
you know
different.
shrugging, rotating it?
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm
Just go heavier with those. Yeah, you're tripping on that every time.
we got to start with some chest.
You want to start with chest?
I'd want to start with some chest first.
Oh, well, good thing our rotator cuffs are fried. What was I talking about?
Rotator cuffs are warm.
Okay, about mindset. Okay? When you're going to press some weights and you're doing the big boy weights, really pushing it, like what gets you locked in? If you look stringy, flat, or if you're pumped and full.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? So then when you get the weights wrapped, whether you're kicking them up or pressing, you know what I mean? When you got them lapped here and your delts are popping, you know what I'm saying? It's synergy.
yeah, but I almost feel like the whole thing that motivates me is I know doing the set crazy will give me that look throughout the workout.
True.
So set number 1, it's like you're not there yet. You're
No,
on
we
your
want to
way.
get there. We want to get there right off,
You're on your
right
way
out
to
of the gate.
becoming. But
The pump cover comes off before the workout. Good. Let's make you a believer out of this one. Can we get some beats on?
yeah, anyway.
Let's get the energy going.
So what? You gotta tell me what to look up.
Type in Projects in the Jungle, Pantera.
Projects in the Jungle. Yeah, I'll check it
Whoa.
out. Just do one.
The bump,
fucking
dude, the
set.
bump cover came off. I'm 1 set in.
You're not gonna do the 35s, aren't you professional?
You want me to go 35s? I just do another set.
I feel like a WWE superstar would do the 35s.
Well, now I'm an American Gladiator superstar. It's on Amazon in spring. Check it out. Amazon original.
But no, so honestly, that was a substantial